All right. Um, I need. I guess I need this to light myself up. I am dark. Boom. There we go. Yeah, good lighting that makes a difference. I'm not gonna just have a light on my freaking face the whole damn time. No, that ain't what I do. I'm not an actor. I don't do all that acting. What's up, y'all? What's up, Golden Okie Aries? What's up, Nakia? The quiet one. Hello, Lee Hop. What's up? And Patricia Blair. What's up? Makia. I said what's up to Makia. Anybody else in the building? Anybody else is here? What's up, y'all? This is an ask me anything. So ain't no guarantee if I'm gonna answer your questions, but if you're likely to super chat, you probably will get an answer. I didn't want to get on here and talk about anything in specific. Okay, Archangel. Okay, that's what's up, man. How is it down under, man? What's up, Lee Hop? Yeah, I didn't want to talk about nothing in particular because I was you say it's late here. Don't know, don't worry. If I appreciate you just giving me a view, Lee Hop. It's all good. In fact, since it's late, if you got a question, go ahead and shoot. Members, y'all. I'll answer y'all questions. I appreciate every membership. Y'all ain't gotta shoot me nothing. You know what I'm saying? I know gas is expensive and people got gifts they gotta give. I ain't getting nobody no gift except for the babies. That's it. Nobody getting no gifts from me this year. Times is tough. We. In fact, I don't even. I am the I am the Black Grinch. I'm the Black Scrooge because I'm cool on gifts and doing all this. Uh, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, Auntie Kim, you my Auntie Leah? I don't know Auntie Kim. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna complain either though. I'm not gonna complain. Not at all. Um, yeah, Auntie Lee, I know I got you. Auntie Kim, Lil Kim's Auntie Kim. They say Lil Kim. Somebody said she didn't. If I even say somebody, Kaya, my neck, my back. She called Lil Kim. She said she done got all these facial surgeries and she went from Lil Kim. She looked like an Asian woman called Kim Little. Just the babies. Yeah, yeah. Just the babies. That's it. Babies will get a gift and that's it. Everybody else gonna get. They gonna get uh, a know how, a how to. Oh, you want some? Okay. Oh, you want some greens? Or let me show you how to grow some greens. You know what I'm saying? What up, D Rock? Who is D Rock? We talking about Big Dale. What's up? Um, can you have Jaguar's email, please? I think it's on her site. Go to her YouTube. It's on her YouTube. I believe it's Jaguar, right? What's up, Myrna? Yeah, this Christmas stuff goes too far. So you got too many kids or grandkids yet. Well, they need to be making sure they take care of grandma and at least giving you something. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, D Rock. Yeah, man. You know, oh yeah, I gotta. Well, I ain't gonna bring nobody down with no bad news. Don't bring me no bad news. Was that on the Wiz? Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I know one of my boys I went to, well, I kind of grew up with or whatever. His mom recently passed, so it's tough on people, man. As far as this time of the year, a lot of people. I was just talking about that, like as far as the nostalgia stuff. Like I can hear certain songs that my mom would play. You said you couldn't find her on YouTube. Go to just type in on a search the Jaguar Wright effect, the quiet one, the Jaguar Wright effect. Just find her, watch on YouTube. Oh, the Legina Gold. We can talk about that if you want. Um, because I had to produce that, and I was just like, WTF? Like, what the? That's crazy. But no, the holiday time of year is nostalgic because I remember way back in the day. This is how old I am. My dad got me a Snoopy radio um, doll, like not a doll, but like a toy. It was Snoopy, and it was like, oh, it's Snoopy, it's Snoopy, but it was a radio. It was a radio. That was I was like, oh, this is. I don't even. I mean, I don't even remember. I don't even think it had like headphones because it was. This was in the '80s, and he gave me that, and I remember that. And then of course, mom playing certain stuff on. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Yeah, I hope I get to see my family too. I'm probably not, but I'll probably see them afterwards. But no, they try to weigh on your heartstrings at this time of year, and they'll play songs or whatever. It's certain songs that moms will play, and you all make you think about certain family members and stuff like that. But that's pretty much what they do at this time of year to get you into you know that spirit of So I'm not gonna be like bah humbug. I'll say happy holidays to everybody. You got Christmas, and then you got Kwanzaa after that, and you got what is it? Is it what is it? Is it Rosh Hashanah? I think that's what it is. Rosh Hashanah or something. Yeah, you got all kind of holidays going on. What's going on? Beam Go Beamin G Pro. What do you have those? Why do you have those emojis up? Can you explain those? Do me a favor. Explain what those mean. That's all. Just show me some respect and explain what those mean. Usually the case we take second seat. Sorry about okay. Yeah, 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 man. Yeah. But anyway, Myrna was talking about the Legina Gold stuff. And yeah, all the rest of it will be done by I think she's releasing Celluloid Cipher. What's up? Shouting you out. Um, y'all go to the Jaguar Wright Show on YouTube and check out the Legina Gold, revealing Legina Gold. It was a podcast. It's a series now where, well, it's been a series, but she just decided to put it out. And she's talking about the young lady that was introduced to her by the trolls, the YouTube trolls. And they inserted her in her life. And this young lady is, she swear up and down she's the love child of Aaliyah and R. Kelly. She said that she is Aaliyah and R. Kelly's baby, and she want to know what was up with her mama and why her mama. Yeah, it's crazy. What do I think about? I'll talk about that. What I think about Nicki Minaj going to Burning Joint USA. Uh, yeah, so I think we got the Legina Gold stuff. Is episode one is out already. Then episode two is out, and then I think in the morning you got three, and then on New Year, Christmas Eve you got four, and then in the beginning, then you got episode five at the end. And I had Jag sit down with Dr. Sunshine, the lady that y'all see. She's a real clinical psychologist. She's the real deal. I used to produce for her. She's cool. That's Shep Crawford's wife. What's up, A Reed? Shep Crawford is the guy who produced Stranger in My House for Tamia. So her husband is that guy. He's cool too. He's a pastor, and she's a professional psychologist, and her and Jag were just going back and forth about that whole little situation. And they broke it down pretty nice. I really wanted to go a little bit. I think we're going to still continue it because at the end of five, you'll see there's like a cliffhanger kind of. And yeah, no, it's all good. I ain't worried about the all caps. I don't think that the sniper squad is in here to snipe the people who be doing the all caps. Um, yeah, though, but y'all go check out that series. It's very interesting. I think Jag should definitely follow up because that woman, like y'all, wait till y'all. I think like episode 3 and 4 is crazy where she started talking about Drake. She started talking about Drake. She said Drake. Y'all got to see it. I can't even really say it, but I did a documentary on a person who was stalking Madonna. Yeah, I heard about the Call of Duty guy. Yeah, in San Gabriel Mountains, like going up. I think it was like the 118 or something like that. One of those routes that goes into the mountains. I heard about that. I'll talk about that. But following up the Legina Gold situation, I interviewed someone back in 2010. Actually, I didn't interview him. I actually sat down with the guy. Oh, you can watch it on the just type in the Jaguar Wright Show. So you got two channels, Jaguar Wright Effect, and then you got Jaguar Wright Show. I'm sure Jag is gonna jump on soon, but you can watch it there. Jaguar Wright Show, just the Jaguar Wright Show. Check it out. Like episode 1 and 2 is already out. It's like 5 episodes. But I interviewed somebody. Um, oh yeah, my Archangel Michael. What you? Yeah, that's the documentary. Archangel Michael, the guy. You saw that guy? What's up, Cat? Michael, you saw that guy. That guy, and look, I ain't got nothing against that guy. The guy in the Madonna doc, that's the guy that I'm referring to. He swore up and down that he and Madonna were married. It's the same thing like the Legina Gold situation. Legina Gold says that her uh and R. Kelly and Aaliyah is her mom and dad. First episode was wild. Question is she telling the truth about Aaliyah and R. Kelly? She needs to take the DNA test. Just continue to watch it. That's all I gotta say. Continue to watch it. And yeah, she of course they threw Jag on her because they've always been just trying to just kill the credibility of Jaguar, to be honest. That's what I realized. Um, Even the story when y'all go to the Jaguar Wright show and you see there's a story of where she interviewed that lady Tammy Wallace. That person, I believe, was like thrown at us. Now she had a credible story. I'm gonna do what I need to do, but um, I believe she was thrown at us for that purpose to just take a hit, try to take a hit at Jag's credibility. But she had a legit story, and we were really trying to get justice for her. The Legina stuff, I wasn't around there. I just got the information. I got the footage. I linked her up with Dr. Sunshine, and her and Dr. Sunshine were going back and forth for some time, and we turned it into something. So yeah, um, here's Jaguar here. So Jag, we were talking about Legina Gold, and the delusional people. I started. I was going to get more into the Madonna doc, which Archangel Michael. I mean, what do you rate it? What do you rate that documentary, Archangel Michael, on a scale of 1 to 10? Um, all that's my footage. All that is like uh, content that I can't like. I didn't go grab. Look, I was gonna get a back then. I was trying to get footage of Madonna because Madonna rarely do documentaries, or I'm sorry, she rarely do interviews. But she interviewed with like Anderson Cooper, and I reached out to his peoples, and they wanted like $30,000 to use. I was like, I ain't got that type of money. That's when I realized this Hollywood thing ain't no joke. But yeah, we talking about delusional disorders.
Mm,
We can walk into the Nicki Minaj thing on that too if we really want to. But
mm.
anyway, y'all welcome Miss Jaguar, right? She is in the building. So they like Myrna says she's great job for episode 1 and 2 for revealing Legina Gold.
Oh, well, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
All
Yeah,
right.
the and then the Madonna doc, that was just I I don't think there's ever been a documentary on someone who had erotomania and actually we filmed him and then I talked to him and there's never been a documentary like that. So I had it available. I took it down and I said, you know, I'm gonna make it available. Because honestly, I had it on Amazon and stuff, but it wasn't like the best work of mine to be honest. Because I've grown leaps and bounds when it comes to documentary and storytelling. I did all that. I wrote it. It was no like no chat GTP, none of that. None of that. So yeah, so you have to watch the second episode. Yeah, the second episode is out, and then the third one will be out in the morning. So everybody's getting a bar of the Legina Gold, revealing Legina Gold.
Mm. Well, I want to thank
So
everybody who took the time to watch it so far. And please spread the word. Let people know that it's
yeah,
available here on YouTube now.
yeah, yeah. Share it and definitely let people know. Let people check it out because it's an interesting story. You got people out here who I don't know, like I think what we were saying and what you and Dr. Sunshine was saying, and shout out to Dr. Sunshine, um, the whole thing of just about somebody wanting to be important, wanting to be somebody. Like she had got made fun of. She had a rough life, and she was only what 20 something.
I mean, she was saying it. Well, number one, she had two different ages. She wasn't sure how old she was. I personally believe she's about 31, 32 now. So,
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Kat says she was on the edge of her seat. And Myrna, did I believe him? Nah. Like if you really when we I may do a breakdown of that doc or something. Maybe I'll do a members only if y'all really want to go do that. But the Madonna stalker guy, I believe he stalked her, but I don't believe that he married her. And the guy he said that he married her, but he Madonna turned into a man. So apparently Madonna's a shapeshifter, and he married Madonna in male form.
My God.
Like yeah, that face says it all right there.
That's
Um,
the face that I got for that.
and I talked to the bodyguard um, when I decided, okay, I'm gonna do a doc on it. Basil Stevens, shout out to Basil Stevens. He's Madonna's bodyguard. He was. I forget what he's doing now, but I think he's in law enforcement or something or whatever. But he's cool, cool as hell. And he gave me the breakdown. He was just like, yeah, man, I can't really say too much because of NDAs or whatever. But he was just like, whoever you have play my part, make sure he's good looking or something. I was busting up. But he told me he was like he pow them with uh, high caliber bullets. Wow. I forgot where he got. I think in the abdomen. He got pow in the abdomen. Fool got up and was still going after him. It was like he was looking like Terminator, looking like the T-1000. So yeah, um, yeah. Anyway, back to Legina. Yeah,
Adrenaline is
these
a hell
people,
of a drug.
man, and meth. I don't know what he was on. He wrote a in fact, I gotta find it. I'll make it available for members. He wrote an autobiography, but he was illiterate.
Mm.
So I think he had some he was talking to someone, this girl, and she transcribed and whatever. It had like misspellings and stuff in it still. But he wrote an autobiography. I actually turned it into something. Um, and I'll let y'all check it out. But I think he's passed on now because if you go to Facebook, if you look up the guy Robert Dewey Hoskins, I'm his only friend on Facebook. That's not funny. It's sad. But nobody, like his family didn't want to deal with him. It's sad. It was sad. His family, like I think I talked to his kids briefly. It was sad. And then somebody randomly reached out to me when I think he was in Washington some years back, Washington State, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this guy came in, he's got cancer treatment, blah blah blah," and he had like two, three different types of cancers, and it just didn't look good for him. But he
Wow.
was, yeah, 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 and yeah, I don't think he's with us now because I think I would have at least he would have called or something. I would have heard from him. And plus, like I said, he was Facebook last little messages. He was talking about his cancer treatments and this and that was it. But I think he passed on. But it's messed up
Mhm.
to go through life like that. Like he was pretty much by himself, and when I met him, he was living in a house that he was renting a room from. But the lady that owned the house was um, the house was going into foreclosure. So he was trying to make some money to buy the house. I think the house was like 300 or 400K at the time. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know if you're gonna get that trying to do. He wanted to make like a website similar to Instagram. This is in 2010. He was trying to do the live uploads and stuff then. I was like, yeah, I wish I knew some tech people because we can get this thing popping. But he ended up just being by himself. He used to go around collect trash and make money that way. And yeah, it's sad, but I think he went out sad. Like nobody, like just no loved ones around. It's messed up. It's really messed up. But that's what mental issues could do for certain people. They'll just get people away from you. The case of Legina Gold, when y'all look at episode 1 and 2, it looks like I can't even call it like if you out here scamming, if you out here just on some lies and you like liars are crazy, bro. Like people, you in my life, you got people who have called me a liar, right? They the biggest liar, and it is like they just know how to cover it. Legina's like, you don't think nobody's gonna ever discover your lie? I don't like it. I don't.
See, there's more to it than that, in my opinion. I don't think it's that she never thought it was going to be discovered. I think the people that put her up to it promised her it would never be discovered.
Mm, yeah, and let's not spoiler alert it because I
Oh,
know more
no.
about it. But I'm on. Do you think we would continue the series? Because at the end I left like a little cliffhanger.
Well, this is how I feel about all of these conversations regarding this stuff. Like, we got all kinds of different people in the YouTube space where, they people make all kinds of content. You have
Hmm.
channels that are all reaction to somebody else's stuff. We have a lot of
Right.
channels like that. And then we
Right.
have, our so-called breaking news channels, Breaking Wind or whatever the case may
Breaking
be.
wind.
And the truth is
Windbreakers.
the only thing they're doing is just passing on,
Passing
information.
gas.
Um, yeah, that part. Um, but when it comes to someone like me, we're passion project people, so it's different for us. You know what I mean? The
Hmm.
way
Hmm.
we view content and do content. I think there definitely needs to be a bigger conversation around that, especially considering some of the things that are going on in the backdrop right now that we're dealing with.
Hmm.
I think it's time
Hmm.
for people to stop being so gullible as to how all of this works and to what's really going on. And
Hmm.
yeah, I definitely think we need to get a little deeper into that conversation because let's just be clear, for a hot second there, for longer than a hot second, for about 6 to 8 months, This was all anyone could talk about. People were talking about this. This was a big conversation. And that's the biggest problem that I have on YouTube. And that's one of the things that really needs to be seriously addressed. The amount of lying and conjured content, um, how one story can be so important, so important, so important, so important, so important. Then all of a sudden, people just stop talking about it. And then all of a sudden, it doesn't exist anymore. And then people
Right.
pretend like it was never so important, so
Like it never
important, so
happened.
important, so important, so important. Um, at the beginning of this year, we had said that we were going to take a deeper look into Shanquilla. And it's funny because it was like not long after that, there was you know, a raining down upon our platforms. And, you
Hmm.
know, we were forced to have to change strategy at how we were doing things and how we were handling things. So, um, yeah, I mean, what I will say is that I know this series is going to piss a lot of people off on YouTube.
Hmm.
And I can bet you nobody's going to do a reaction video.
Probably because, like you say, look, it's funny. You said they were just talking about it, talking about it. Was just in the atmosphere for 6 months, and then all of a sudden, it had gone away. That's I told y'all people that's the markings of a psyop. That's what psyops do. They, well, something actually a psyop will be, here, and then then it's just, then it just goes away. And I'm gonna talk about one, but I'm not gonna talk about it in the way that y'all think y'all gonna talk about it because I want Jag to go in on her channel on it, but we're gonna talk about something real briefly. But overall, that sounds like the markings of a psyop. People were talking about it, and then all of a sudden it just went away. And then hey, ain't nobody. Then what's the follow up? You get what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
what happened to that girl? Where is she? I mean, I think she has like a YouTube channel or whatever, but then no one's really like the thing is about that type of story. No one wants to be accountable for platforming her. Like I heard about her and I didn't know she was attached to you, but I heard about it and I
She
said,
wasn't, see, that's the thing. She
no, no,
wasn't
no, she
attached to me.
wasn't. They
She
put her
was
on you. That's it.
forced. She was
Yeah,
forced on me.
yeah. Well, when I
And
first
what
heard
became
her,
very,
no, no, no. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say when I first heard her, I didn't. But even after a while, I didn't know that she was attached to you. But that's what I was telling everybody before you came on. I said it seems like they've been trying to put these type of phonies on Jag for some time, and I talked to them about the Tammy situation, so they know I'm a researcher, so I'm just not gonna let anything slide past me. So the Tammy situation, she had a real legit story, but there was just something funny about that situation. The situation with Legina, it was so ridiculous. It was like, okay, I'm glad you did it the way you did it because it's like an interview within an interview, right? It's a
Yeah,
breakdown of an interview within an interview, and it's talking about erotomania. If you guys don't know what erotomania is, yeah, okay, we're talking about people that seek attention, especially online nowadays. Everybody want to be something. Everybody want to be attached to something. You want to be known for something, whether it be good or bad or indifferent, whatever, right? People want to be known for something. And Legina Gold or Angela Owusu was inserted into Jaguar Wright's life because she had claimed to be the singer Aaliyah and R. Kelly's love lost child that apparently
yeah. But
was
what was the purpose? She was running that gambit and playing that game on on TikTok. She was playing that game on Facebook. She was infecting her way. They were trying to find a way to make the story work on YouTube.
hmm hmm
And what's wild is they needed me to make it pop. They needed me to get involved. And it's crazy because the reason why all of this was done was because in the beginning of my outcry and speaking out about what was going on, I had said very clearly, if there's anybody who's afraid to come forward, I'll stand with you. If you feel like you've been oppressed in any way, I'm not like everybody else in the industry. I'll listen to you. I'll stand by you.
Hmm.
I'll be there. So it was all about taking advantage of my good nature, of my
Of your
kind heart,
of your kind
and
heart. Of your kind
of my
heart.
advocacy. And that's really what it was
Hmm.
all about. So, when I think about how many times people came to me asking me about this girl, and the truth is, I knew nothing about her. I had heard people talk about it, but I knew nothing about her, nothing at all. Um, it was very interesting the way Sean Davy Way and the official King Payne were determined to make sure I
Mm.
spoke to her.
Mm.
They were determined, like they were. It was they were obsessed with it. Well, did you hear? She was talking. She was asking for you today. She said you're the only person that she'll speak to. She said that the only person that she trusts that she would share her story with is you, Jag, and you're the only person. I said, well, let's see how it plays out. Personally, I want to see the DNA results. She said she's going to take a DNA test. I want to see the DNA results. Then the next thing you know, oh my God, Jag, she says people are coming to get her. People are coming to get her. Oh, she was in the hospital. They put her in the hospital. Oh, they did this to her. They did that to her. She said she needs your help. Now, I could be an asshole and I could have kept avoiding it because that's what I was doing. I was avoiding the whole situation. But after a while, I wanted to know why it was so important for these people that I talked to this girl. Why? And why was she only interested in talking to me? And I figured, you know what? If anybody's going to get to the bottom of this, it's going to be me. And then the next thing you know, I'm online with her and she's saying that she needed to go. And I said, well, if you can make your way to Texas, I have no problem with looking out for you. If you feel as though you're in danger, I'll look out for you. You can come and stay in my home with my family, you know, and we can get to the bottom of some things until you can figure it out for yourself and get you on your feet, whatever the case may be. That was the Christian thing to do. It was. It was the decent thing to do. And I was very decent to her. My whole family was very decent to her. Um, it's kind of wild how that whole situation ended up working out, or should I say, disappearing, because I don't
Hmm.
think we ever got to the end of that story. In all honesty, it was an upheaval. Just a, but I suggest that people keep watching the series.
Yeah, we got part one and two is out. Part three will be done in the morning, and then four and five for Christmas Eve. And
I I also
it's a good look.
suggest that at least 40 more people hit the like button. This is kind of rude. It's so funny. Somebody decided to come through here earlier. They didn't want to seem to ask a question. They just wanted to seem to tell us something. And somebody said, we're wrong about candy paint.
What? Okay, all right. I ain't even talking about. I ain't even talking about that beat.
No,
You dig? I'm not
No,
talking about her motherfucking ass.
my thing is it's to ask me anything. Ask a question.
Yeah, ask a question. I know everybody's gonna and everybody's been talking about Nicki Minaj and the turn and burning joint USA and what she did, and everybody's talking about Erica Kirk and
Mm.
tacky makeup, whatever. I don't care. I'm not even go there. But this was about a day ago, so well, no, actually, yeah, around the same time that she went to Turning Point in Arizona. Supposedly, Nicki Minaj was ordered to leave LA because of her husband or something. Well, I'm done with this. Let me just say ninja-ish. Like some, and I don't know how credible. I don't believe any of this as far as Nicki Minaj is ordered to leave LA. Like that don't even sound right. Number one, it just sounds like a divisionist story that someone wants to put out there to make it seem as if, oh, well, Nicki Minaj is at the she's at odds with the black community, and this is what's going on. Um, I'm
You know
just
what I don't
I was just
understand?
like I'm done. What is it?
Why do keep why do people keep giving Heather's black status in the United States? Because she's not black. She's not FBA. She's definitely not ADOS. She's Trinidadian. And there is a difference. There is. I just don't understand. You're awful quiet.
Hold on, because you remember while I was dealing with the publishing. So give me 1 second. It's Jesus. Um, um, yeah,
You know
Nicki
what's
Minaj.
really what's tripping
No,
me
go
out
ahead.
about this whole situation? She has been creating an uproar damn near all year long.
Yeah.
Damn near. And I'm just not understanding how people are still acting surprised.
See.
You know, when she decided to jump into the Demore Hadley and Javon Hadley story, I, I extended a lot of grace with my personal opinions regarding
Mm-hmm.
um Onika out of
Mm-hmm.
respect for Demore and Javon. Because I'm like, you know what? If she's really trying to do the right thing, if she's really trying to help expose the crazy, um, and get justice for someone, then I'm not going to stand in the way of justice because I don't do that. I don't
Yeah.
stand in the way of justice for anyone. I know how badly I want it for myself. Um, but if you remember when I first heard that she was getting involved in the story, I said to you, I don't know how I feel about this because she's a selfish person.
Mm.
She typically only thinks about what's best for her. And if she's talking about this, it's to benefit her in some way. But as long as it's working for Demore and Javon, I'm not going to trip. I'm not going to stand in the way. Like you remember when we talked to Demore before she got the gag order, and I made it very clear. Like I told her everything, did I not? I told her
Mm-hmm.
about
Yeah,
how
you
I
kept
felt
it.
about. I told her how I felt about Mr. and Mrs. Petty. I told her everything that had happened in the past. I told her all of the things that I had said about her in the past. I told her the truth about everything that I know regarding the Pettys.
Yeah, and you wasn't hating. You didn't say
Not at
don't.
all.
You was just like, yeah, you kept it 100.
And even when she decided to share our content, I wasn't worried about her sharing it for me. I was happy that she was sharing it for Demore because we knew what an uphill battle that story was in itself. We were supporting everyone who was talking about it because so few people were talking about it. And we knew
Yeah,
we had to create a concerted effort with multiple content creators to get that story to live for
yeah,
even a little bit.
and it was good their situation. It was great.
Like whatever life that story got, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we did our part to help push it forward. Like I am. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that we were there and we were able to really, really, really help. Just
And we're not done because it's a lot more
oh, we're
that
far
we're
from
gonna
done.
do.
That trial comes up this year. And like we told everybody, this is not going to be oh we're rushing to it. We're rushing to it, and then that's just going to be that, and then we're going to move on. No, we're going to be revisiting. We have to revisit.
Definitely,
It's just we're not the
definitely.
kind of content creators that are going to sit there and talk about it every day and do an 80-part series about it every day and abuse the story every no, we're not going to do that. And there are some other things that we have coming up regarding the growth of where we're going with, sharing the story of what happened to the Hadleys and, the campaign for justice for the Hadleys. But it's really wild because I think that when Nikki shared that and Barb started showing up to support the content, I think people thought that we were supposed to be like grateful in some kind of way or worried of like oh look look we're friends with Nicki Minaj. Like I think people were expecting that from us. um and yeah, no,
Well, just like
no,
I guess people
that's not
were
how I bless.
expecting. I guess people were expecting you to do a certain thing when it came to the well. Number one, let me say this: if Nicki Minaj is MAGA, the MAGA it's flipped. It ain't make America great again. It's make my ass great again, right? That's Nicki. She's making her ass great again. Um, I guess they thought that you would kind of be like uh I guess this whole situation right here um she I wouldn't say she's MAGA. I would just say she's kind of just showing everyone what she's on or what time it is. So supposedly she got $1 million for going to burning joint and now earlier in the year you were and it's not burning joint that you got the
No,
acknowledgement from, but it's an organization that's close to the Trump administration, and they awarded you a Defender of Freedom Award, and that was that. It was just like, okay, you got that, and then that was that. But there was no support for like, well, not like that. I mean, we should just support the president of this nation anyway, but there was no endorsement, I'll say it like that, of you, of Trump and stuff like that. And Nikki has just gotten into the political field with, going over there to go talk to these people, and then
Let's be
she's
very
talking mess about Gavin Newsom, which
let, let
I
let's
don't
be
I
very
don't.
let's be very
Go ahead.
clear. I made it very, very apparent from jump. I'm not interested in politics. I don't do politics. I'm not going to get into doing politics. If I should change my mind and get involved in politics, it'll be because I'm running for office or something,
Hmm.
not because I'm looking to bandwagon. So yeah, no, I don't do I don't do clout chasing. I don't do especially not political clout chasing, because once you marry yourself to a party or marry yourself to, see, you're putting that, especially if you have a relationship with God and what you're really standing on is sharing the love of God and God's word. And that's really what we're all about. Or let me speak for myself. That's really what I'm all about. So I can't play that game. The second that you start being ingratiated or indebted to a human being, you're already putting God on the sidelines. Like, that's the biggest issue that I think I have with the whole Turning Point situation. You call yourself a religious organization, but I don't understand your religious politics. And I don't understand how you can sit there and call yourself a religious organization that only backs one party, one kind of ideology. Because see, when you're sitting here spreading the word of God, you're not supposed to have boundaries. You're not supposed to have borders. You're supposed to be able to talk to everybody. You should be able to talk to a Democrat. You should be able to talk to a Republican. You should be able to talk to the independents. You should be able to talk to everybody, because everybody are children of God.
Hmm.
See,
Hmm.
anytime you have an organization that is preaching division, I got to question your true commitment to God. Because when Yeshua went to the synagogue, and it's so funny because all of these people are talking about Yeshua, and they're talking about the Christ, and they're talking about what's real, and they're talking about who are the real chosen people, and whoopty whoopty whoop. There's a lot of that going on right now. What Christianity is, what it's not, and so on and so forth. And it's so funny because I'm sitting here watching people play in God's face, play with God's word, play on the holy word, period. And it's funny because they're not going by anything that's actually in God's word. Like, I'm not understanding. You know, at the synagogue, where the Pharisees were. And by the way, the Pharisees were Jews. And they spent their time picking apart the word of Yeshua, not supporting him, picking it apart. They hated how scholarly he was, and they hated with all of their scrolls and with all of their so called knowledge that he had a better understanding of, of the holy scrolls of God,
Hmm.
that he had a better understanding. They spent their time picking at him, picking at everything that he said, testing him, questioning him about everything. And it was after Palm Sunday when the people had hailed him and heralded him, Son of God. And he rode on a donkey, and they laid down palms. and they fanned him and they laid down palms. And so they decided that they were going to go into the city. They were going to go to the synagogue and make fellowship with the people that were worshiping there. And when they got there, guess what? It was all about money. It was all about money. They had people out there hustling people, doubling the price for making sacrifice doves. They marked up the value, it was all about money. They were charging people extra money to worship.
Mm.
They were charging, they were overcharging people extra money to make prayer. Like it was, and when Yeshua got there and he saw what was going on, he instantly became enraged because they turned what was supposed to be a place of worship into the sloths and swap meet. And there was very little talk of God going on. There was a lot of money changing hands. Yeshua flipped. He lost it. He lost his patience. He started shaking niggas down and running their pockets. He started flipping over tables. He started calling people out. He sure did throw hands, cat. And what's so wild is when he was questioned about why he was doing what he was doing and he was asked to explain his rage and his anger, he said, "My father's house is meant to be a house for all people, a place of fellowship, a place of worship for all people, rich, poor, no matter what color you are, no matter what your background is. This is supposed to be a place where everybody can come and find him." Now, I can't expect a religious organization that has the ability to raise $140 million in 90 days. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I don't know what it's really all about. But $140 million in 90 days, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. I wonder how much money they would have raised if Charlie Kirk was still alive. But I digress. My point is, when you want to sit there and you want to play on God's name, you should at least be able to accurately share his word. You know, they sat there and they were talking, and I did not hear not one of them share scripture with each other at all. Matter of fact, I didn't even hear Yeshua's name, not even the American one that they like to use. Jesus, I didn't hear that name come up once. Not once. More importantly, I'm still trying to understand where all of this Christianity and where all of this Christianness came from from Onika. I'm trying to figure out when did she become such a big Christian? Because I'm trying to figure out, was she a Christian just a couple of months ago when she was sitting there calling that little girl who Tasha K said was born with with the bumpity bumps when she was
Mm.
calling her a vulture?
Mm.
Like she was sitting there asking for her advice, and giving advice to little girls and little boys. I don't know. When her and Cardi B was going back and forth at each other's kids like wild animals. Like they sitting there, they so busy beefing with each other that they sat there and they drug children.
Hold
The
up.
both of
Listen
them
to
drug
this.
children
Uh,
to
uh,
filth.
uh, 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 hold up.
Right now, black culture is being held captive by influences, songs,
Which
and role models.
influences?
I mean, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Hold on, I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't. I don't.
That's what Charlie Kirk said. Charlie Kirk said.
I know.
Ain't that a trip?
I know.
Should I play that again or?
Yeah, maybe we should play it again
Right
and
now,
let's
black
hear.
culture is being held captive. Right now, black culture is being held captive by influences, songs,
Which
and role models.
influences?
I mean, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Hold on a second. I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't. I don't think that songs that are talking about like glorifying wet female genitalia is exactly. I don't know which one wrote that song. Which one was it?
I think it was Ben Shapiro.
That's Charlie
Oh,
Kirk talking
that's
about
hilarious.
this person that his wife is sitting here hosting, talking about how much she loves her and talking about how much she knows her heart. Like when did you get to know? Like that's the only thing that I have no appreciation for. Like stop the fucking cap.
Yeah, like I said,
Stop the
in all
fucking cap.
honesty, in
No,
all
because
honesty,
this shit right here, everyone should be disturbed. Because what Erica Kirk is doing right now is showing people how easy it is to manipulate the public. This ain't no different than what her husband and Candace Owens did with Kanye West with that White Lives Matter shit when they were going after BLM.
hmm
Meanwhile, you're asking somebody that is not a foundational African American or a descendant of
she's not a
slaves.
she's not a freedman. Let's just say that.
She's not a
I
friend.
don't
She's
really.
not anything.
She's not
She's fucking
none.
Trinidadian. You can't sit there and ask a tether to speak for the black community. So basically, all you gotta do is find somebody that's the right color and then get them to ask stuff. And now look at what they've done. They done pissed off the LGBT community because now Onika, and it's so funny because she has so many fans that are
Hmm
that are LGBT QIA plus,
Yeah, they
and
said.
now
Well,
you taking subliminal shots at the trans community.
I was looking for her IG. Well, her IG is deactivated, but I think she had something over like 200 million followers on IG. They
Oh yeah,
said she lost a bunch
yeah.
of followers, but I can't. I was looking to try to gauge it, like how many.
I think
But
she
yeah,
lost 10 million over on the Twitter on the X
on Twitter. Okay.
because that's where she's pretty much only left to operate right now. I'm just trying to figure out how you going to sit up there and have she's speaking about what black women how black women should be acting and black women shouldn't be giving white women a hard time and whoopty whoopty woo. She like they brought her there to piss everybody off.
hmm
They're using her. See, and this is the difference between me and the rest of these chicks. There is no way in the world. There is no amount of money in the world. There is no way fucking ever you could have got me to sit there and do that divisive ass shit. It was divisive and it was weird. More importantly than that, the Epstein shit, they're still playing with the Epstein thing. And you got her up here, like you asking her all of these questions, but you're not. Are you taking into consideration that this is a woman who willfully and willingly married a man who's on the SCX offender registry list at the third degree? At the third degree, her brother was jailed and put behind bars for messing with little people. And she made excuses for the whole fucking thing. Like,
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It's that. See,
And
that's what I was.
and then you got Candace Owens, who for like a whole month was sitting over there. Oh yeah, yeah. Her brother. For those of you who didn't know, her brother was convicted for messing with little people. Not
Yeah,
only
he's in
did
it
she
right now.
defend him, he's in jail right now for messing with little people. Her husband is not allowed to be around little people because of what he's done. Like this
And
was
she funded the brother,
yeah. She paid for all of his legal
attorneys and
fees,
all that.
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
She looked out for him. She looked out for him heavy. But this is what I don't understand. Candace Owens was just over there saying that they got a bunch of PDFers and weirdos working at Turning Point
Mm.
until they sit down and have a magical conversation and told her, now go play with your Egyptian planes and leave us alone. So
Exactly.
I'm just like what they got going on over here. What they got going on over here. And I mean, just listening to her try to um just listening to her try to have a religious conversation was baffling to me.
Yeah, she sound real goofy.
It's
It was
baffling to
like
me. And talking
she sound
about,
like she sound
she
like
goes to church. She goes to
she
church. Where is
she
this
sound like
church
a
that she
middle
goes to?
school. She says she has a pastor that's Nigerian. I think that is
I
true.
understand that, but where do they worship?
Yeah, I
Does she
know.
pay
Well,
tithes? Where do they worship? Because I've never heard her mention the name of her church. Matter of fact, I've never heard her say what denomination. There's so many different kinds of Christians in the world. Exactly what kind of Christian is she? What's her? Is she Seventh Day Adventist? Is she Protestant? Is she Pentecostal? Is she Holiness? Is she Kojic? Is she Latter Day Saints? Like what's her denomination? Like
um, Nicki Minaj, uh, it says she identifies as Christian, and
Christian what?
well, listen, give me a second.
Benedictine?
Not non-denominational or Protestant Christian. Um, yeah,
Mm.
no strict denomination. She's not Baptist. She's Waptist. You get it? WAP. Waptist. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing
Um,
is she was baptized. Was she baptized non-denominational? Because she got baptized, she said, when she was 13 years old.
she was baptized.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
She got baptized. She got baptized.
You can go on my social
Um.
media and see me get dipped when I got
Oh.
rebaptized in my 40s.
Okay. That's what's up.
You can see my son get dipped. The first time I got dipped, I was 6 years old. I went through the classes the whole 9 yards. Like this is just the it's just wild to me. Um the way these people like playing in people's faces. I'm just trying to figure out, how's Turning Point going to explain the whole SEX offender registry list. Like I'm just trying to figure that out.
Yeah. It's well. The thing is this.
Or
See.
or the way that she intimidated and helped intimidate her husband's victim.
Let me say something, y'all. The reason why um, I thought
MAGA
about
down.
becoming,
If this is what MAGA want, MAGA down bad.
are you gonna let me
My bad. Yeah,
Talk.
no, I'm just
What's
I'm
going
just
on?
saying because MAGA sat there and they made a real big deal about the whole Epstein thing and getting justice and this, that, and the third, and so and so forth. And now MAGA is platforming. Okay,
Well, that's
but
the problem. That's the problem. That's why I pulled up. If you guys haven't seen the TikTok or the IG of this, what is it? I can't even production. You see, you got Epstein here, and you got Chris Tucker, and oh, Chris Tucker came out and said, he was unaware that uh, he was on Epstein's private jet back in 2000. Was that three? Going to Africa with who he had on the flight with him, Clinton and all these other people. He didn't know. He apparently didn't know. So okay, Smokey. But I was just going to get into the whole thing about this thing called quote unquote forgiveness, and that be the problem that I have with a lot of these religiosity people. I'll just say it like that. I'm not talking about just Christians per se. I'm just talking about people that are into the religion. I knew somebody who had a religion. They had their own Bible. Because I swore up and down. I said in the Bible, it says, it's better to sleep on what is it, the ledge of a roof than to sleep in the same house as a contentious woman, something like that, right? Don't get me quoting because I'm not, if I ain't got a Bible in front of me, or if I ain't got Google, I don't know. But it's something like that along those lines. And this person was like, oh well, yeah, I guess they had their own version of the Bible because they said, yeah, and it's also it's a man too. I was like, oh, okay, the Bible says man. All right. Oh, anyway, but anyway, these people that follow and it's like slavery where the religious benefits you like it benefit master, where in the Bible it said, oh yeah, obey your masters, and see, boy, it says here you gotta obey me. Like, man, I choke your if I choke your ass out, oh, now I have drapetomania, right? Anyway, and that was a real thing. They said slaves that didn't want to be slaves and they ran off the plantation, they suffered from drapetomania. That's a real thing. But anyway, you're supposed to forgive, which I understand the power of forgiveness and all that or whatever. But what it
mm-mm,
is is is,
mm-mm.
is this. See, the thing is I'm not going to forgive individual or person that's just continuously does BS. Okay, you got something going on in the background, FYI. Um, but I'm not going to continuously forgive someone who does a bunch of BS. Like, you know, and when I'm talking about forgiveness, I'm just saying like, okay, Nicki Minaj's husband and her her brother. These people, they seem like they're just habitual, whatever it is that they do. That's what they seem like. But there's also, if you do something, okay, if you did something and you apologize and you ask for forgiveness. What do you say, atonement? That's understandable, but it don't
Understand
seem
this. You
like
have to
that's what they're
atone.
on.
You have to atone. Forgiveness is one thing, but in order to be worthy of forgiveness, it says it in the Bible, you must atone. You must
Yeah,
atone for your sins. You must
and
atone.
these people, and I guess like I was saying about burning joint, is
You can't say,
primarily targeting.
mm,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
you
ahead.
can't, you cannot say that you've atoned for your sins when you're still fighting your victim that you brutalized 30 years ago to try to keep
Hmm.
the truth from being what it is. You can't
No,
like you
that
you
that
you
that's not going to work. Um, Nicki Minaj's pastor is a lady named Lydia Slowly. The church that this Lydia Slowly person leads is Life in its Poetic Form Christian Ministries in Brooklyn. And I think they need to pull your girl to the side and
The
just,
the
you
church is in
know,
Brooklyn.
yeah. But she's in LA. I
Does
don't
she?
get it.
I was about to say, does she attend virtually?
She has to maybe do it Zoom. Yeah, I'm assuming. Um, yeah, it's just some wild times. But see, the focus isn't about what's going on. It like the irony is the fact that they brought her on. This administration is looking real crazy because of all this Epstein stuff. Like it's just the irony. If it this shit writes itself, you can't like what Kevin Samuels used to say. You can't make this shit up, right? They're going through all this stuff, and you have a woman. Not only is her brother a convicted offender, her husband is a convicted offender, and she just got $1 million to go on there for 30 minutes and talk, and just was saying some goofy stuff. So call the vice president a assassin. Like it's like I'm not gonna go there. I just was just I don't really care. It's just like come on, y'all. Like don't get into that's the main thing. Don't get into the emotionality of all this crap because that's what they want. They want you to get emotionally enraged or
That's what all of
involved
this
in
is
what
about.
they're doing.
Listen to me. Content ain't contenting right now, but there's a lot of
It
money being
ain't.
pushed around to a lot of people, and everybody that did their job working on the Diddy disinformation campaign this year to guarantee that he could get as close to off as possible. They all getting their payment. They all
Hmm.
getting their payment. Look at Charlemagne. He got a $200 million deal he doing with Netflix to take his podcast network all the way through the roof. He done his little ass done made four. And all you had to do was worship the devil. You got
Mm.
other people here on YouTube sitting around pretending like the Diddy documentary ain't come out, ain't do no kind of stuff, create some fake kind of beef with restraining orders and all of this stuff. Like they all doing the same. It's the same old crap. It's the same old crap. But I see it though. I see it. I see what it's hitting for.
So I'm
Now
gonna
they
give y'all
and
something real quick.
now this Nicki Minaj. Now here we go. Here we go. We got content. We got
Yeah.
content.
Well, I want y'all to pay attention to the when you say content, you're right. It's a con. The queens and kings of this content. Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. You could throw Charlotte in there too if you really want to. Even fifth, 50. Joe Button. So everyone, peep game. All these people that I mentioned would be considered alternative media. The first three that I had mentioned would be considered prominent right wing media figures. And,
Mm-hmm.
they have their little public feuds and stuff. They got the Nick Fuentes against the Candace Owens and the Tucker Carlson, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they they all have an agenda, America's first. And then you got people like uh, Charlotte, who's, black first. He got a black scented organization, the Black Effect Media or whatever. All that was a flex. The 200 million that he got, that was a flex on Joe Budden because Joe Budden partnered with Patreon, and Patreon, I think they gave him like 20 M's, and that's not bad. 20 M's. Now he set this deal, and it's 10 times that amount. Him and Joe Budden been going at it for a minute. There's always this, oh, I'm gonna one up you, especially in the
No
black,
disrespect.
so-called black.
No disrespect. But for real, Joe Budden's he ain't really worth more than that anyway.
I know. It's a
And
reason
neither
why
and neither is
he
Charlemagne. The only
accidentally. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, and neither is Charlemagne. Charlemagne is being paid for his loyalty and for his ability to recruit liars and shape liars.
The reason why, and this happened maybe about less than a year ago, Joe Button did something where he flashed his Patreons, and it was a lot. Now, he did that purposely. That was a play. But what I'm saying though is there's always that we're gonna go up against each other. It's always the uh, basically Bloods and Crips. You got one end is this side, this other end is on that side with Charlotte and Joe Button. That's what they're doing with Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, which I believe they're all government, but they want you to believe that these are alternative, independent media journalists. Blah blah blah. No, they're all
Hmm.
pushing the same bullshit agenda, and it's all ultimately going to be about how much money can they get from y'all because they're going to get advertisers and they want people to view their content and blah blah blah. That's the name of the game. A lot of people are just abandoned traditional media. The only people that look at traditional media like that is like the people that be sitting on Facebook, the old people, the boomers and the silent generation, and some Gen Xers. They sitting there looking at old media like it's telling you the truth, and it's a scam. But then you got those people that I just mentioned, and plus you're going to find more people. You're going to find more people that are going to pop out in the media space, and they want you to believe them, and they're going to do that. And don't get it twisted. You're not going to find no true, straight, independent media source moving forward because they've all been bought and paid for, and they all got to push an agenda, just like most of the political anybody that's dealing with politics, you're going to be paid off by APAC. So
A
like
puppet
you're bought
show. A puppet show. Child, this is the WWE.
on steroids. Yeah, y'all, like don't the only thing I can really tell everybody who listens to this is don't fall for it. Like what you're going to see, just like this Nikki thing. This is all for emotion. This is all for attention. Nikki pretty much going on there, low key abandoned her core group of people who support her. I guess, trans men, trans women, queer, gay, LGBT men, women for the most part are her base. And this is what it was for. The whole Candace thing was last week. Emotionality, all that, whoop, that, bam. Now we got this one with you got all this Epstein stuff going on, but then you got a woman who comes on and she's this and I'm finna ride for Trump and it's all for like pay it no attention, to be honest.
You
I'm
want to
just
know
trying to
what I
let
find
y'all
funny?
go ahead. What was that?
People don't even realize none of these people care about politics. They don't care about who the president is. They don't care about nothing. This is literally about shocking, awing people into keeping interest in her because her campaign against Rock Nation is failing. Like her campaign against Rock Nation has been her most her most vocal everything. She ain't saying nothing about Rock Nation no more.
Right. She didn't pivot and she's
Like I don't think anybody understands that. Her whole year it was Rock Nation, Rock Nation. I'm taking down Rock Nation. She calling people rats. She putting wigs on grown men. Take a shot here, take a shot there. You know, mad bitch linking up with people who have real shit going on, like all kinds of things, all kinds of things. Nobody has noticed. She ain't talking about Rock Nation no more. No, now she's involved in politics and now she loves the president. I would like for somebody to ask her who she voted for.
Interesting. Yeah.
I would love to know where her vote landed. Like she went from Rock Nation, Rock Nation, Rock Nation. I'm taking down Rock Nation. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Right? And now guess what? Ain't nobody really talking about Rock Nation no more, are they?
Yeah. You see how they siphoned up that energy, that conversation. Like that's what it is. That's what it is. It was a siphoning of the energy because the Demore situation, it brought her to the forefront. I'm going to talk about blah, blah, blah. And everybody's looking at Nikki. She just like 50, just like pretty much we could have produced that The Reckoning documentary, and because it was everything that you've been saying, right? But everybody's giving that energy to 50, like, oh, 50, oh, yeah. It's the same energy. They all learn from to siphon energy. They learn.
What I
It's
find
the same
funny
energy
is,
siphon technique.
what I find funny is that nobody's paying attention to the fact that 50 been talking all of this smack for all of this time, but he ain't never gone hard on Diddy before. Never. Not really. But you've known all of this stuff all of these years. You've been involved in all of this stuff all of these years, but not until after he's convicted are you now coming forward with a bunch of stuff that for real, most people already knew. And now you have people that are starting to poke holes through the documentary. Um, which I told you is part of the reason why I had a problem with it, because it was done so well, but it was sanitized. They made it possible for it to be attacked. They made it possible to create the argument, you know, rather than just burying the devil up to his neck in all of his sins and allowing him to be, you know, accurately handled up on. So it's a yes, the quiet one. He's not the only person that said that, though. Steve Harvey has also said that there's a lot of so-called black elitists who feel that way, that the best thing that they can do for poor people is not be one. There's plenty of
Hmm.
black people that say that. What's funny is that they can be made poor at any time. It's and once again, we got this whole thing going on. Oh yeah, and before we move on, we could use another 50 likes, guys. Please stop being so shy. Um, I think the thing that people just really aren't paying attention to is that people really aren't out here. Okay, we have a question. Um, and this has been being asked, Mike here. We see it. There's a lot of underrated LPs, my dear, not just Aretha's. And there's a lot of albums that got overlooked in the 70s. We can have that conversation though. Maybe we can get into that, talking about great music that has been overlooked. But I just wanted to let you know because I've seen you ask on several occasions, and this isn't Ask Me Anything. Um, so I wanted to acknowledge that. And Odell, I'll let you figure out the flow of conversation, but please take it away. This is your thing.
Um, what do you mean? I mean, I'm not even familiar with that album. So if that's what you were talking about.
No, I just
Um,
wanted to let her know that we saw her comment because her question, she's asked it, on
yeah,
several occasions. So I
yeah,
just
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to
Go ahead. You
let her
can
know
you can
that
ask
we
it. Yeah,
said
you can answer it.
no. I just responded. That's a much larger conversation.
Yeah. Before I get up out of here, because I'm gonna get out of here soon. Um, yeah, I'm just really, the main thing that what I have to say is just don't fall for any of the crap that you know uh, they're pushing out there to us for real. So all these people, they are um, coming out this is a play. This is what they're doing. They um, are just trying to really just get your attention. Um, yeah, yeah, they're just trying to get your attention. Even this right here, who this is right here? That's Nick Fuentes or whatever. This is arrest mugshot, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, they they
What year
they
was this
they
when
are
he
they're
got
all.
arrested?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe 2019. I don't know. I'll look it up. Um, yeah, it's an energy harvesting situation, and they're just trying to get your attention.
I do have one thing that I'd like to just throw out there when it comes to my Keisha's question. While you're curious about that answer, or curious about getting an answer to that question, it would probably be best for you to just go and look up her management and the label she was on at that time. And I guarantee you, if you look up those two things, you'll probably answer your own question. No, I mean, but that's what happens at this time of the year, though, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
a lot of distractions, and I think a lot of stuff that's being created is to keep people's minds busy with a lot of things because of the financial situation right now. Let's just be
yeah,
clear. There's a lot of people that don't have enough money to go out here and to keep up with the Joneses and all of that. Well, Mirna, he is a Latin. His name is Fuentes. He's Latin. He's Latino.
yeah. He is a Mexican. It's like they like. Yeah, he wants to be. Yeah, he's Mexican.
Um, but no, it's just I think a lot of people aren't. You're not seeing a lot of people posting about how much money they're spending for Christmas this year. You're not seeing, you know, yes, and the winter solstice is upon us. And it's funny because as materialistic as the world is, there's just not enough money to be materialistic this year. You know, it's so it's the best thing to do, quiet one, because I've seen you ask this question. Just head on over to thejaguarright.com and you can leave a message there at the website. I think it's like they don't know how to keep people they don't know how to keep people busy. Like, it's trying to control these minds, so they can't do it with the money and keeping people busy spending money and worrying about all of this and worrying about all of that. So it's like they have to feed people's minds with as much propaganda as they possibly can. I mean, can we call it for what it is? There might be some MK stuff going on right now. We're watching people fall apart. We're watching people break down. Like, is anyone, you know, looking at what's going on with the Nick Reiner story? Story is very disturbing. Very disturbing. Like, there's a video that I want to show you that someone took the time to compile his social media. He's a very, very, very troubled young man, and he's been that way. Like he's been on the verge of, popping off like this for quite some time. He's been in and out of rehab since he was like 14, 15 years old. He's he's already had a heart attack. I'll share it on the community wall after I take a look at it because I want to make sure um, it's just kind of crazy. Like we got a lot of crazy things that are happening and it's just,
Yeah, somebody was saying something earlier
yeah,
um, about the Call of Duty co-creator. Remember, I was showing you. I just told you about that.
yeah,
So that
yeah.
I see the video of it. Yeah, I can't play it because it's obviously yeah he was in a Ferrari. You know when you're going. It looked like how it looks when you go up down Topanga Canyon or up Topanga Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it looked crazy like that. Topanga Canyon is beautiful, but it just looks crazy. But he was going fast, and
Mm.
yeah, a lot of crazy stuff happening. But you know, you know, the only thing I can say is to just have your discernment on and don't fall don't trip off of too much of the craziness.
Look, that's what they want. That's what they want. They want the craziness. And we all have to take that into consideration. Um, I know we're going to be going live this week and we're going to be talking about a few other things. And we might talk about certain aspects of some of the things we talked about tonight in greater detail. Uh, but I don't know if anybody can feel it, but nothing is what it seems right now. Nothing.
Even this,
Yeah.
even this. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. I'm finna show something because even this ain't what it seems. It's as ridiculous as it sounds. Y'all see this? I was looking. The Department of Justice supposedly released video of what supposed to be Epstein's suicide, right? But
Mm-hmm.
y'all read it. It says it was fake. This is supposed like what's going on, and it has it at the bottom of the screen. It says J. Epstein. Like what's going on, y'all? Like this is crazy, right? Department of Justice released this. Is it what? Yeah, I'm finna look at the actual Epstein files. Okay, I'm on the Department of Justice site. Oh, they done took it down. Wow. Are you serious? Yeah, the Department of Justice scrubbed they just scrubbed the because I went to I'm look, y'all can't just tell me anything. Oh, go look at this. Now I see the video. The video is obviously uh not of Epstein, but this was really on the Department of Justice site. It says uh this is Epstein, unaliving himself. And they literally you click the link and it's no longer there.
It was a fake.
This is crazy. Like this is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. How's the
Fake.
Department of Justice this incompetent?
What do you mean
See,
incompetent?
This is what I'm talking about.
What do you
What
mean
I said,
incompetent?
incompetent.
Is it incompetent or was that what they just intended to do?
This clip doesn't even approach reality. Let me see. Yeah, yeah. Something's about to drop. That's what I think. I think something's about to drop. This is crazy, y'all. Y'all look, but y'all can check out that Twitter and see, and then you'll see the link on there. And yeah, people are, yeah.
What's wild is everybody really wants to believe that all this stuff is real. Just like everybody wants to believe that what they saw with Nikki and Erica was real. Just like they want to believe that none of this stuff is real. None of it's
It
real.
sure ain't. It
And
sure
and,
ain't.
and the thing that's bothering me is, and I'm not trying to be cocky, but I feel like people like me and you and the few others that have been really committed to making sure that the truth breaks through have been too effective at it. So now we got all of this other crap to get people looking the wrong way. Anytime I see this much just distraction after distraction, bullshit after bullshit, and all of it coming at once, like boom, 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 back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Like anytime I see that happening, you know, I know it's because they're trying to get people, they're trying to numb people's mind back into believing whatever they see. It's just sad. That's all. It's really sad because this is how easy it is to get human beings to just go along with whatever. All you gotta do is just show them a little something, get them all up in their feelings, get a bunch of people talking about it, and boom, move on to the next distraction. Hmm. Like that's
All
just
right, y'all.
wild.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. All right, when you going live? Because that's why I didn't even want to go too deep or go too heavy on the Nikki stuff. But overall, I'm just saying, y'all, just watch out. This is just so much bullshit. See, that's all I can say. So much bullshit going on. But yeah, let the people know when you going live
I don't know.
or if you're gonna go live.
I don't know. I don't know. But it'll be sooner than later. We'll definitely be
I'm
going
sure.
live before
I'm
the
sure it
25th.
is.
I'll tell you that.
All right, Tilly.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
All right, D-Rock. I normally will do. I guess I'll do it real quick. The top fans: number one, Archangel Michael. Two is Trisha Blair. Three is D-Rock. Four is Micaiah. Five is Golden Aries. Six is Quiet One. Seven is Myrna. Eight is Cat. Nine is Lee Hop. 10 is Tilly. And then you got Lauren Speaks Up and Young J and Chaos. Uh, Not Jen R 2021. A Reed. Shout out to A Reed. Josh Bortnick. Shout out to you. And Hugo Lewis. Naya Hines. ENT 8801. And Hero Fant. Hierophant 1010. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back. But y'all definitely go check out that revealing Legina Gold.
Yeah,
There'll be a new one
please.
dropping. New one dropping in a few hours. It's 5 parts, and appreciate you know what, well, Lauren. Why you got swords up? We don't do swords over here. We don't do the butter knives. Take away those butter knives. Unless let me check out your thing. Let me find out you one of them.
Oh, have mercy.
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Dang, is my bat my battery just dying. What the anyway. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. We are up out of here. My battery dying anyway. Peace.